don't have nobody. And I wasn't real sure what I was gonna do. I'm gonna tell you what, guys. That kind of broke my heart a little bit. Well, hey there, hobby homesteaders. Welcome back to Peaks Peak. My name's Lucas. We're sharing our hobbies on 38 acres in eastern Kentucky. And today, well, we got work to do. So, I am headed back up the hill with my trailer because I've got to finish the project I started a while ago, back before we went on our fishing trip to the beach and all that. Yeah, so I started building the sides for my trailer and I got them almost done. If you notice, when I walked away from the trailer, there's no sides on it. And that's because, well, Cameron loaned the trailer out to one of his co-workers so they could go pick up a truck that they bought. And that's cool, no issues with that. In fact, I'm really proud of Cameron for wanting to help people out and take good care of people. And actually, I got a story I'm going to share with you about that today, because let's put her down in low gear. Yesterday, Cameron and I finished up a project that made me very, very proud of him. And I'm not sharing that story to pat him on the back or pat me on the back for parenting or anything like that. All right, fine, I'll put my seatbelt on so this thing will quit beeping. This one's worse than my other truck was. But I'm telling the story because, man, it illustrates something that is more important than anything else we do in our lives. And it was a good reminder to me to stop and take the time to do those things when they're needed. So once I get everything set up here and I get to work, I'll kind of finish that story. So far, I'm really liking this Toyota truck. Haven't got to haul any heavy equipment on it yet, but hopefully we'll be doing that pretty soon because, well, actually, my buddies over at the log yard just dropped off 3 logs for me that, well, there ain't no chance I'm gonna move those logs with the Kubota BX. And I really wanna mill them. They're big, nice oak logs. So I'm gonna have to get me something I can move those with. I've been talking about it. And you guys may think that I'm stalling to try to build suspense or tell a story or, you know, try to get a sponsorship deal. And while I would love to drag my feet until some tractor company decides to sponsor me, that would be awesome. I'll just be honest. I don't necessarily think that's going to happen. And so that's not really why I'm dragging my feet. I'm mainly dragging my feet because I'm trying to save up enough money to pay cash so that I don't have to go in the hole to buy a toy. I mean, you know, obviously, you know, I'm not wealthy and I've had to take out payments on lots of things, but a second tractor is kind of just to give me something to play with for making content and all of that. It's not needed, so I don't need to go spending that money before I have it. And that's what I'm trying to do. It's a tight squeeze back in this Tundra, back in here, getting the trailer turned around and backing it back in here to the wood yard. I don't think I hit any trees or anything. So yeah, that's always nice. I've got my side rails laying on the ground here, and this is where Cameron took them off and left them and took the trailer down to the house. What I need to do now is get these side rails put back on here, and then I've got to figure out a plan for what I need to do to finish it. I stopped by Rural King to pick up some eye bolts so that I can tie the 2 side rails together and hold my tailgate boards in, and that should work out well. In addition to those eye bolts, I want to share something with you guys, just a little tip, because you know, when you need little bolts and nuts, if you go to Lowe's or somewhere that sells those in little packages, you pay a fortune for them. But if you have a Rural King nearby, you can buy bolts by the pound, and which I just needed some washers and some nuts. Let me see what I paid for those, because I'll guarantee you a package of nuts, a package of flat washers, and a package of split washers would have cost me probably $1.89 for a package of 2 at Lowe's, something along those lines. And so I would have probably spent $10 on that. You know what I spent at Rural King buying them by the pound? I spent 18 cents. 18 cents for 4 nuts, 4 washers, 4 flat washers, and 4 split washers. Now, that may not seem like a big deal, but I have started me a bolt collection. I got tired of digging through my old greasy bolts that are leftovers from projects. I wanted some nice new clean bolts, and I set me up a shelf with little trays, and I started just buying a few bags of bolts every time I go into Rural King. And I could buy, you know, a bag of 15 or 20 metric 10 bolts or whatever and spend $2. And so each time I go in there, I might spend $5 or $6 on some bolts and start filling up my trays. It's the best deal there is. I had to throw that out there because this is something I just discovered over the last few months. So I'm starting to build my bolt collection. So let me see if I can get these things back in here where they go. I don't know which side is which side he took off of which. I know one thing, they're heavy. Oh, there's a little lizard. Man, it's like it was built for it. It's obvious which one was built for which because I got the little slots for the tailgates in there. Oh, goodness. So, starting my story. Cameron told me a couple days ago that he had a buddy gonna come over and they were gonna put a clutch in his truck. Now, you know, he mentioned this guy was a guy that he works with, and I didn't recognize the name, kind of a new name. And, you know, clutch is a pretty big job. Clutch is a job that you're gonna spend some time on. And when it's in an older vehicle, you're probably gonna spend all day on it because, you know, rusted bolts and running into little problems here and there. And on Cameron's day off, that's what he devoted his time to, was helping out a friend put a clutch in their truck. And I'm sure a lot of you are thinking, well, you know, lots of us jump in and we help our buddies out to get their vehicle running or do something that they need. And, you know, that's not anything all that out of the ordinary. And you're right. A lot of us help out our friends when they need a hand. I think I'll go ahead and pull this off of here. But there was something a little bit different about this situation that Cameron was helping out with, because he started kind of telling me the story, a little bit of background about his friend that also makes me proud of his buddy. See, this is a guy that Cameron hired to work with him a little while back. I don't know exactly how long, but just a few months ago. And this guy moved to this area away from all of his family because he struggled with some substance abuse issues and he wanted to get his life straightened out. Wanted to get away from all that. Man, good for him. Because let me tell you something, I think almost all of our families have been affected by substance abuse issues and things like that. And man, anybody that wants to try to get clean and straighten their life out, they need all the help they can get. That's a decision they have to make, and once they've made it, they can do it. But they also need some support. And so it really kind of hurt to hear that this guy, you know, had to move away from everybody he had because they were the bad influence. It's kind of a bad deal. All right, so let's run the truck back down. We'll get the side by side and all the tools so we can finish this project. Wednesday, when I got home from work, Cameron and his buddy had been out in the garage since about 9 o'clock that morning, and it was over 90 degrees. It was hot, and I could tell they were just about exhausted. I decided to kind of jump in there and help them out a little bit, kind of speed it along, see if I couldn't help them get done a little bit sooner, you know. And, you know, take a chance to get to know my son's friend. So as we worked, I figured out that this young man was really respectful and, you know, kind, had a positive attitude. I was pretty impressed by that. Then at one point, I heard him tell a little bit about, you know, where he lives and the fact that he had moved here from a little over an hour away where all his family was because of the influence. And he said, man, I really appreciate what you guys are doing here. He said, because I don't have nobody, and I wasn't real sure what I was going to do. I'm gonna tell you what, guys, that kind of broke my heart a little bit. Dropped the truck off, picked up the side-by-side and some tools, heading on back up the hill. I had a nice surprise today. I'll show you here. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you, I can't move these logs. Ain't no way. I'd say that is probably 16 inches. That one's probably 20, and that one may be 36 plus. I don't know. But my buddies over at the log yard over here said that they were showing a little bit of dark spot on the end, which means that there's metal in them. And they said, if you want to fool with them for whatever, they're just going to be firewood otherwise. So they said, we'll give them to you. I'm going to, I think, get me a metal detector so I can check them. Might just take my chances with them because they look like really nice logs. And that one there, the biggest one, I may do some log splitter tests with that. I mean, I've not had any wood that big. That sucker's a monster. So yeah, it's been a couple of weeks since I've been able to come up to the wood yard and mess around. I'm gonna need a few tools and a little bit of bug spray. All right, I think I've gathered up enough supplies to finish this up. I got a couple of 2x4 pieces that I can rip into boards for my slots on the front. I got me a couple of tailgate boards here. These are pine, and the rest of it's made out of oak, but that's what I've got to work with for right now. So that's what we're going to make them out of. And that will finish this up, and then I think once it finishes drying, I'm probably going to do the old motor oil diesel fuel sealer treatment on it, and that should protect it for many years, and we'll be good to go. All right, so let's finish our story. All right, I'm going to start getting this stuff ready while I tell y'all my story. So yeah, Cameron's buddy, you know, he shared with us that he wasn't real sure how he was gonna manage getting the clutch changed in his truck because he's kind of starting over on his own. He said, I don't have nobody, and wasn't sure what I was gonna do. And the first thing that made me think was, man, I sure am thankful for what I have. The people I have in my life that are good to me, my brothers and sisters in the church, my family. And while I am definitely blessed, it's also not an accident. I owe all that to God because I try to do what He wants me to do. And man, He gives you good advice. He gives you the tools you need. It's not a hard and fast rule that if you serve God, everything's going to be great, because that's not the way this world's designed. But there are a lot of things it does help with. And so I'm thankful for that. That was my first thought. And my next thought was, man, I got to do better about this kind of stuff. when somebody needs help, I'm willing to help a little bit. But man, you know, Cameron dropped his entire day off and worked like a dog in the heat because somebody needed his help. That's a good example. That means something. Means more than any project like this that we think is so important that we gotta have our Saturday to work on, because that's what I'm bad about. Is share my time. But you never know what a difference you're going to make by being willing to share your time. And if you're one of those people who has had problems with addiction, substance abuse, and that sort of thing, man, it's never too late to turn your life around. If you're sober right now and you're feeling that, go get some help. Tell some people that you need help. Not everybody will accept you and believe you and help you on the way, but there are lots of people out there who will. Get the help you need. I know firsthand how it affects families, and I also know firsthand how awesome it is to see somebody you love turn things around, get everything under control, and get your life back on track. People still love you. People still care about you. I don't know, this video may be a little bit much. I mean, you know, I'm no therapist. I'm no authority on anything. I just I know what it looks like to see good things happen in the world and to see good people in action, and it just inspires me to want to do a little bit better. And I hope that me sharing this experience inspires you too. I was cutting these boards for tailgates and for the front, and I was planning on ripping it down, but you know, to get rid of these knots and a little bit of live edge, but I don't guess there's really any point in that, is there? Might as well just use it. Shoot, yeah. That'll work. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Let's cut us another one, same length. There we go. I think that pretty well does the business. And used up my 18 cents worth of washers and nuts here. And pick up a few scraps here. And we'll just throw these in the burn barrel. I like the trailer. I think it turned out just great for what we're doing here. And I probably will cut me some new tailgates. Just have a flap disc on here, so that's what I'm using to knock the ends of these screws off that came through. But anyway, I'll probably cut me some new tailgates out of oak once I get those oak logs on the mill. But this is what I've got for right now, and I'm going to be hauling stuff on here real soon for the wedding. So I figured I might as well just use what I've got. Never mentioned how awesome a battery-powered angle grinder is. So handy. And there you have it. Our trailer sides are finished. We have a front and a rear, and now I gotta go back down and get the truck so I can tow it back down the hill. I guess I could have walked down and got the side-by-side, but then I would have had to have somebody bring me back up to drive the truck down. So yeah, just making trips. I do a lot of that. That's just one more reason why I love my Kubota service truck. Did you spot that? That's my Coyote carpenter pencil. I've got a Coyote dealership pretty close by here. A fellow by the name of Ron owns the Coyote dealership. I need to get over there and check out what they've got. Maybe review their entry into the compact tractor market, because I want to check all my bases before I make my decision. And I've still got quite a bit of saving to do, so it's going to be a while. If you're in a rush to see me on my new tractor, I mean, I'm going to guess it's going to take me at least a couple more months of saving. So hopefully it will bring you guys some good content as I check out all the different options while I save my money. Just in time, I'm about out of water. Got that done, so let's go down and get the truck. Well, I'm just going to tell y'all, several of you made fun of me for loving my backup camera, because I guess the rest of the world has been living like this for a long time. But I'm still excited about mine, because my farm truck never had a backup camera, and this is awesome. I didn't even have to, I mean, I just watched the camera back my ball right into the trailer, and we are good to go. Love it. Almost to Cameron's house. I think he's working on his deck. I may stop and say hi, see what he has to say. What are you up to?
Staining.
Oh, you staining.
It's a sealer plus stain.
Yeah, well, that looks good. I'm always all about the red colors. I never even pictured anything like that.
Well, it almost seemed more brown in the store, I think.
That's gonna look good. All right, well, looks good, man. Have a good.
He was well.
All right, anyway, maybe I ought to have him stain my trailer. I like my trailer. My trailer looks pretty good too. All right, well, let's go park this trailer and go have some supper. Hope you enjoyed today's video, getting to see me finish up the trailer, hear me tell stories, and I hope you are inspired to be good to people. Help out where you can. And remember, till next time, get outside and enjoy God's creation. It's beautiful out here. Y'all have a good day.